It's Miss Maggie here with your Sunday lesson, and I am super happy to be with you today. We're continuing to learn in the Laugh and Learn Kids Bible by Phil Visker, and this week's chapter is called Timeout. Have you ever been put in a timeout? Maybe for not listening to your mom and dad, or being mean to your sister or brother? Ooh, well, your timeout was nothing compared to Israel's timeout. You know why? God put Israel on a timeout for 40 years. 40. That's a long time. So what did they do to get in this timeout for 40 years? Let's read about it. Moses and the Israelites had lots of new rules from God about how to be his holy nation. They knew what to do, what not to do. No beard trimming, no pork eating, no lying or stealing. Lots of rules. As soon as they left camp to head to the promised land, the Israelites started complaining again. It's too hot. We're tired of this weird flaky food. They were complaining about everything. Moses told them to trust God and be patient. After all, they were headed to the land that he had promised them. They would soon have their land and be God's holy nation. Just when Moses thought he couldn't take any more complaining, they finally reached the promised land, a land called Canaan. There was only one small problem, though. There were already people living in Canaan. So Moses sent 12 spies into the land to check it out. Do you know what a spy is? It's someone who sneaks around gathering information without being noticed. The 12 spies wandered all over Canaan, taking notes, like, was there food, fresh water, were there trees, how many people lived there? Were they big people or little people? Then they came back to Moses, and the Israelites told them what they had saw. The promised land was amazing. They saw huge grapes, huge, delicious grapes. They saw lots of fruit trees. They saw good land, growing crops with clean, fresh water running in brooks and streams. They saw that the land God promised them was an amazing, wonderful place to live, but they also saw people who lived there. They looked big. They looked strong. They looked mean. What if they attacked the Israelites? Would the Israelites win or lose? Moses asked the spies what the Israelites should do. Two of the spies reminded the Israelites that this was the land God promised. Even though the people were looking big, God was bigger. If they had to fight for the land, God would fight with them, and they would win. All they had to do was trust God. But the other 10 spies were scared. The people are too big, they said. They're too strong. We're scared. If we have to fight, we're gonna lose. Who should the Israelites listen to? The 2 spies who trusted God, or the 10 spies who were scared and wanted to run away? Who would you listen to? The Israelites listened to the scared spies. They forgot all about the things God had done to bring them out of Egypt. They forgot that he was always with them and that he was bigger than anyone or anything they could ever face. They forgot about God. They said, "We're not going into that land. Let's go back to Egypt." Moses couldn't believe what he was hearing. The children of Israel, God's friends, were turning their backs on God. "Because you don't trust me, none of you will go into the land I promised," God said. "Someday your children will go in, but you won't." God wanted the Israelites to trust him. He wanted them to remember that he loved them very much and that they didn't need to be afraid because he was always with them. But the Israelites forgot all of these things. And so God put them in time out for 40 years. Okay, here's a fun fact. During their 40-year timeout, Moses and the Israelites wandered the desert in the Sinai Peninsula. Okay, let's get our map out so we can look at it. Okay. The Sinai Peninsula is situated between the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. Here it is. Today, the location of the Israelites' wilderness wandering is a 23,000 square mile bridge between Africa and Asia, with a population of almost 1.5 million people. All right, questions about our lesson today. See if you can remember, why did God put them in a 40-year timeout? Because they forgot about him. Because they forgot everything he had done for them, and that he was bigger than anything or anyone, and that he was always with them. So he put them in the timeout. What can we remember about God when we encounter hard things? We can remember that he is always with us, and he is bigger than any problem. He's always with you, right? Okay, let's end our lesson today with a prayer. Let's bow our heads. Dear God, thank you for being bigger and stronger than our fears. We trust you to help us bravely through them. Amen. Amen. See you next week.